part 3 of Love and Introspection. Papa Dog is resting. Yes, he's very sexy. And we are waiting, and this is my favorite music here. I love it. It is gorgeous. I'll turn it down. This is happy music. And this is the music that I wrote sort of like a poem, an emotional, sentimental piece for this music a couple of years ago with Kenny in the van. We were on the parking lot and I was listening to this music. It was pouring rain, it was cold outside, and the music stood in contrast to the weather and to the people in particular, because they were like all very decrepit and old people that were loading up the groceries, having a hard time with it. And I was sitting comfortably with Kenny in the van, waiting for Paul, as I always do. We always take turns with every dog. Okay. And I was listening to this music, and it just hit me how, the contrast was so incredibly, it was almost like bright yellow versus murky gray. And that was reflected in the weather and in the people and in that parking lot also. So this kind of like a bitter type of Europeans with their small mouths, like mine, like this. Doesn't get better at old age. The mouth becomes more and more like. Well, in South America, with that music, they have these really big, wonderful, pouty mouths. Gorgeous and sexy and everything. Big hips that are there to belly dance and twerk and twirl and be in the flow, this music. So being totally in the flow. I am not like, unfortunately, I'm kind of very German looking and kind of, like everything has to be in order. But it has its, plus side, of course. But it's just different DNA, different brain and everything. So, and I always sit everywhere observing everyone. Seeing the differences between people. It was interesting again in the store. I just observed a fat Republican lady chewing gum like there's no tomorrow, like slurping her path forward with the shopping cart and chewing gum like this. like there's an attitude of disrespect towards about anyone, and like a kind of brutal type of elbowing dimension around her and in her. Like, what the fuck? It's very interesting for me to observe. So she She might not even say that, but it's like, it's this energy, like, whatever. Don't mess with me. I'm chewing gum and I'm fat. Yeah, it's an attitude of no gratitude for anything. It's like no gratitude, no, you don't see. And it ties into what I already said in my other video. It ties into this, they have blocked themselves away. I continued to observe her on the parking lot when she came out of the store, putting her stuff away, and in that moment, you know, listening to the music again, I felt sorry for her, you know, the music, and then that lady, fat like that, meat eating, lots of animal product eating, and no exercise, no walking, no hiking at all, probably, just doing some household work, and that's about it. They call that exercise also. And yeah, I felt sorry for her suddenly, you know. Then I saw a skinny older lady. I think I know that skinny older lady, but I wasn't sure. That skinny older lady doesn't like me very much. I see her once in a while. When I see her with her dog, we greet each other because she has a basset hound. But other than that, it's like I gave her my number, but she doesn't contact me back. And because I said that we didn't like Barack Obama, that was so. But I like her, you know. I like her. I feel more at home with Kathleen than I feel with that Republican lady. But you know, I leave people alone. You know, if they don't want anything to do with me, I have good feelings for them. I wish them well, and I let them go. I'm not gonna, hey, wait, I need to talk to you or something. No, I'm not gonna do that anymore. So, and the Republican lady, I just feel sorry for her. I wish her well. I make a big bow or circle around her, and that's what I do with about everyone in the store. Just avoid any kind of confrontation or conflict. Someone stands their shopping cart right in the middle of the aisle, and I just go, okay, that just means I have to back out and go back to the other aisle. So that's all there is to it. You know? Because I don't want some, you know, because that's what would happen. They would react like this to me if I even looked at them the wrong way. If there was even a hint of criticism about the shopping cart right smack in the middle. So that's why I circumvent any kind of confrontation. If it's possible. But again, if another living being is suffering or is made to suffer or is in danger of being hurt or something, that's when my business comes in. That's when I'm not circumventing anything anymore. If I see a dog in a hot car and the windows are up, that's when my time comes in, where I have to get out of my van and I have to write down the license plate number, go into the store and make an announcement of that car. So depends on the situation, you know. So I hate it, whatever weather it is, when the windows are up, because I don't know how long these people are in the store and how long the dog can breathe in a car with the windows up. So when you have a dog, you have a responsibility. You have to put the window down like a quarter or something. And so in California, it is now legal to break a window to save a dog. So Jerry Brown made it possible with our petitions, all of our petitions that work. Okay, they really, really, really work. Online petitions and paper petitions, they work. Letter writing, personal letters to legislators, it works. Do it. Okay? Even if you think it doesn't work, but do it anyway. And then eventually we'll get there. So if we all help, if everyone helps, and even if not everyone helps, it's your responsibility to help. It's your responsibility to do it anyway, to write that letter, to sit down and take the time for it. So that's what I'm trying to analyze here is, I avoid confrontations as much as possible. I can take the extra detour to get out of the way of someone who is just sitting on edge and waiting for anyone to look at them the wrong way and then fly off the handle. So I already see this like miles ahead. These are all cranky people, and their livers are not very well. Their livers are overloaded with toxins, and that's why this is happening. That's why that hyperreactivity. And also what I mentioned before, the childhood pain, this constant pressing emotion, which is coming from childhood pain. Mother wasn't there, so it gets incorporated into a hardened belief of, like that they find themselves ugly, or they think that they're not worthy of love, or because that's what they experienced. So then they come to the conclusion on a subconscious level that they're not worthy of love or something, and then the ego reacts very, very, very explosively to even the wrong glance, to even a hint of criticism that could be in the air. And when we become conscious about all of these things, then that is not pressing anymore. That falls away just like that. It's no longer there. We dissolve it, we recycle it into awareness, into consciousness, into a conscious integration process, into wisdom and knowledge that is helpful for us, into recognition and insights. And so that's what I'm trying to convey to the world with my videos. And so every living being, they're all living beings. These women, men, fat guy there, the lady with the hair bleached. I understand every one of them now. They want to be loved, they want to be adored, they want men to want them. We want that. And also childhood gets later put into the context of sexuality and the sexual desires, and this entire conglomeration of emotions and needs, and becomes very jumbled up, and then it becomes very difficult to analyze this and see where one thing came from and how this perpetuated another thing, and how all of this is interlinked, and to see the causality of all of these different emotions and needs and unconscious act-outs and desires and so on. So it's not easy, but you know, we have time, and instead of spending the time with bullshit, you know, we can spend the time researching, watching important videos of philosophy and meditation, and we can introspect, we can meditate on these things, seriously meditate. My back hurts, I gotta straighten my spinal cord. Feels good to straighten it. Line up the back of the head and the back of the neck with the back spinal cord. Straighten it into one line and breathe. Breathe, 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 breathe. Keep breathing. Slowly breathing in deeply through the abdomen, and hold the breath for a few seconds and then breathe back out. Wherever you are, you know, Thich Nhat Hanh, this guy, he has a Facebook page for Thich Nhat Hanh. He wrote on it, breathe, you're online. But it was not Thich Nhat Hanh who said that. I don't even think Thich Nhat Hanh is on the internet. He's a Buddhist monk in France. He has a monastery, sort of an organic garden, and they are growing their own food there, and it's really amazing. So we're all innocent living beings, and at least that's what we started out with, and our bodies are innocent living beings. But the ego creates the problems later on. That's why we need to become conscious about it, and we need to making a video about a whole lot of strawberries, frozen strawberries. Okay, so go vegan, you know, introspect, meditate, allow yourself the emotions to come up, allow yourself self-pity, allow yourself self-love, self-humor, allow all of this, you know, allow whatever is and whatever was. Allow it to run through you without running away from it. And then things become conscious and integrated. And then we have power, empowerment, real empowerment that comes from within. Knowledge, wisdom, good knowledge. And awareness. So, and that's what I want people to do. Okay? To go in that direction. Okay, you guys take care.